Let's begin with a brief overview video.
Microsoft Copilot Studio lets you create your own agent experiences and make them available instantly wherever users are across multiple channels. Simply click to create an agent and describe what you want it to support, providing instructions about behavior and point it to a knowledge source such as a website to further infuse it with data. That's it. In just 3 simple steps, your agent is instantly capable of rich, multi-turn conversations. Since Copilot Studio is a full end-to-end SaaS with no infrastructure to deploy or maintain, you can easily publish this to your support site or other channels like Microsoft Teams, so your customers or employees can use it quickly. Or you might want to further infuse your agent with additional knowledge by easily adding a number of different data sources from the knowledge page, including documents, SharePoint sites, Dataverse, and data from your CRM and ERP systems. With this, your agent is an expert, ready to reason over your enterprise knowledge. You can also easily add actions to empower your agent with the ability to execute various tasks and automation. Copilot Studio comes with thousands of connectors to allow you to connect with your back-end systems to create and leverage custom connectors. That's all you need to build an agent. Just add your knowledge, actions, and topics, and your agent will use generative AI to reason over them and respond to whatever your users may ask. What's more, agents can now work autonomously behind the scenes, not just chat-initiated requests. Taking action when a specific event occurs, like an email is received, or a new employee is added to an HR system. Copilot Studio covers the complete end-to-end lifecycle to build, deploy, and monitor and improve with built-in advanced analytics. Makers can view KPIs like engagement rate and satisfaction score with trend comparisons. You can also view your knowledge source performance, error rates, and customer satisfaction feedback for deeper insights. Copilot Studio can also extend and customize Microsoft Copilots. Microsoft 365 Copilot, Copilot for Sales, and Copilot in Dynamics 365 Customer Service, enabling personalized company-specific use cases with access to back-end systems that Microsoft Copilots don't have existing access to. Copilot Studio gives you the power to take action on your data, backed with the security you've come to expect from Microsoft. Agent building has changed forever, with unlimited ways to build and extend agents and copilots across a myriad of use cases, thanks to Microsoft Copilot Studio. Try it now at aka.ms/trycopilotstudio.
That gives us the broad picture. The key thing to take away here is that the Copilot Studio includes a complete lifecycle for building, managing, and publishing copilots. You can get started simply by describing what you want to build. You can add enterprise knowledge to your Copilot, from your company website, to your files, to your internet sites, to your structured data in Dataverse, in Fabric, in Graph, as well as the various third-party sources to ground your LLM and instantly start chatting over that knowledge. You can add actions or expose APIs for the LLM to select and call as appropriate, and then you can publish to multiple channels and see performance through the built-in analytics and more. You can even decide what triggers your Copilot, a chat or an event or an API call. And on top of that core cycle, there are a lot of exciting new capabilities for us to share today. First up is the new Copilot Studio Embedded Extension Builder, which makes it even easier to make Microsoft Copilot smarter. With this, there's now a user-optimized interface powered by Copilot Studio embedded right into Microsoft 365. Here, users can create extensions, and those extensions are immediately live to use or share with others. This makes creating and using these extensions and infusing M365 Copilot with new capabilities incredibly easy for all users. Let's take a look.
Copilot agents can supercharge every business process and build capacity for every individual and team, scaling your impact like never before. Now, with Agent Builder and BizChat, we're bringing the power of agents to you, right in the flow of your work. And we made them incredibly easy to create. Say you want to build an agent for field service technicians, and you want this agent to have access to all your product knowledge and be able to give you step-by-step instructions in real time. You open Agent Builder and describe that you want it to be able to reason over your product catalog and repair tickets. It's built in seconds and ready to use. You can edit and configure it, expand its knowledge base by tapping into resources like SharePoint sites or other IT-approved data sources. You can even update its name or image to align with your company's branding. You can now test the agent or hit create and you're done. And of course, the agent respects your organization's Microsoft 365 and SharePoint security permissions. Now your Copilot agent is ready in BizChat and you can share it with your team.
One of the top areas Microsofts are always focused on is AI quality. The quality of AI answers across knowledge sources, including SharePoint, is a key priority for Copilot Studio. Microsoft is making a massive investment here with teams of hundreds of data scientists working on this area, continually updating the SaaS with state-of-the-art RAG strategies and the latest models. So let's take a closer look. There are three major areas of improvement here. The first is updated models. The entire answer pipeline, all the places where Microsoft used Gen AI, now runs on 4.0, with the major improvements in accuracy and relevance and better ability to reason over context. In addition, by using GPT-4o, agents can now reason over non-text elements like images, tables, and diagrams. So those chart and fine print illustration in that PDF manual will now also be used for answers. The second area is the quality of SharePoint answers. Microsoft made a significant investment how to chunk SharePoint files and how to select the most relevant chunks, and this has improved the quality of AI responses by more than 40%. Microsoft also shifted to a new semantic index search for SharePoint versus the basic lexical keyword-based search in the past. This allows system to return far more relevant results for the RAG pipeline, dramatically improving AI answer quality. And then the third major area of improvement is that a customer now have direct control over how the agents use the knowledge they are grounded on. The new knowledge creation experience provides visibility over what sources are being used, what kinds of questions remain unanswered, and what the accuracy of responses is. It provides a way to filter and prioritize your knowledge sources and even recommend additional knowledge from your organization that you might want to add to your Copilot. Let's take a closer look.
We are now giving you tools to improve your agent by bringing knowledge analytics right here within the knowledge page. With these insights, I'm able to see how often my knowledge is being used, the error rate, and track its answer rate. There looks to be an opportunity to improve the answer rate, and I can use the suggestions from the curator to see exactly how to do this. I can review the unanswered questions to see the root of the problem. There seems to be missing information about regulatory compliance. I can now leverage the recommendations here to see what data I can add that could help fill this gap in my knowledge. I see that I have a SharePoint with a repository of data around regulatory compliance, and I'm able to easily add it. Once it's added, I'll go ahead and test the same question that went unanswered previously. And as you can see, the agent now leverages this SharePoint information to provide a response. And with this new curator, you can do other things like prioritize which knowledge sources will be used by marking sources as authoritative, and even configure and filter the knowledge source itself. Now, you not only have a view into the success and usage of your data, but you also have actionable insights and suggestions in order to help you improve it.
Understanding how their Copilot is performing is a common ask from the customers. Microsoft added improved analytics that provide insights into how the generative system is working, which generative responses are working well, which sources are useful and which are not, and more. Now, one of the core advantages of building on Copilot Studio is that it's compliant multi-tenant SaaS. It's PCI, high trust, HIPAA certified, and comes with a vast array of admin and governance capabilities. Microsoft has significantly invested in this area and continues to introduce new security and governance controls with over 15 new enterprise-grade governance and admin features this year. These include features such as more DLP controls to enable and disable features, single-tenant app registration, enhanced audit logs, and preview support, network isolation, virtual network support, and private networks, and more. One of the exciting things that Microsoft added is autonomous abilities of AI agents. This is now a broad public preview. Now you can tell your Copilot to listen for and react to an event, not just a chat, and then use generative AI to cascade and orchestrate complex, long-running business processes, allowing it to act autonomously. For instance, an agent can now react behind the scenes when email arrives and use generative AI to trigger the appropriate chain of actions in response. From understanding the intent of the email to looking up the sender's account to checking inventory, processing an order, and then taking an appropriate action to close the ticket, orchestrating that entire process over days. And now this is all publicly available. Let's see a quick demo.
I've created an agent to help onboard new employees, troubleshoot hardware questions, and order new devices. Here, you'll see I've provided a description and instructions in natural language to define the types of scenarios I like this agent to support. These instructions are key to guiding the behavior of this agent. I've added knowledge sources and actions specific to onboarding and hardware troubleshooting. But now I can also configure autonomous triggers for this agent so it can run automatically in response to an event, not only when a chat trigger occurs. To do this, I'll start by choosing from any of the trigger options available, which align to your existing business processes or systems and applications you use today. I'll select a trigger to start when a new employee is added or confirmed to our database. With a couple of steps, I'm able to configure this trigger and select the table and the scope for the Dataverse record where this new employee information is being stored for my organization. With this new trigger added to my agent, it will now execute the appropriate actions asynchronously without me having to request any support directly. It does this by leveraging the actions I've configured and the instructions I've given it to welcome the new team member and order them new equipment for their first day. Let's test this new trigger. To do this, I'll simulate adding a new employee record to the Dataverse table by sending the employee information in the test pane. And I'm able to see how the agent identifies the right actions and knowledge and chains them together to follow the instructions I've provided. It first identifies the knowledge source for IT procurement policies and then welcomes the new employee. The key here is that the agent builds these steps on its own. They are not prescribed steps in any static order. It's determining in real time how to self-assemble these actions and find the right one relevant to this particular employee. To continue testing, I'll respond as if I were Miguel receiving this welcome message. And the agent continues to run, identifying the next step in the chain and leveraging the action to then list out all the devices available to Miguel. In addition to testing my new trigger, I can also view all the historical runs in the new activity page, giving makers insights into the autonomous actions for their agent. You now have the ability to review each agent run, handle exceptions, and make improvements. I'll drill into one activity run to show you what I mean. Here we see another dynamic plan that was created at runtime by this agent to execute this workflow for this specific new employee. We can see the connected third-party systems that the agent used. Clicking on the details of an action, we can further dig into the specific inputs and outputs for this action, which is invaluable for debugging the connected systems and APIs. We are also able to explore the conversation history to learn more and see how we can improve this agent's outcomes. It is now easier than ever to create an agent capable of handling end-to-end tasks asynchronously to streamline workflows, enhance productivity, and drive operational success across departments.
So to be fair, I tried this autonomous trigger functionality inside the Copilot Studio, and because this feature is still in preview, it only works inside the Copilot Studio itself. So when you test it there, the trigger actually generates the response from the Copilot agent. But when you execute that trigger and you would want to see the response in the chat of your agent or Copilot outside of Copilot Studio, it doesn't work yet, right? Again, I've been told by support from Microsoft that this functionality is still in preview, and that's why it doesn't work as expected. So we have to stay tuned for additional developments. Let's continue. The next most common thing Microsoft hears from customers is the need for deeper, better integration with Azure AI. In particular, there are two common asks. The first one is, hey, I have a large set of data in Azure Search and I want to access it from Copilot Studio. And two, I want to build my own custom model in Azure AI Studio and call it from Copilot. And Microsoft added support for both of these. Azure AI customers often have a large corpus of indexed data through Azure AI Search, and customers can create their own custom RAG and prompt modifications to reason over their Azure AI data. In Copilot Studio, customers can now connect to that solution and use it as the knowledge source. Their Copilot will be able to respond without having to move their data or prompts out of Azure AI services. Let's take a look.
Today, Azure AI users often have a large corpus of indexed data, and in some cases have created their own custom RAG and prompt modifications to reason over this information. In Copilot Studio, makers can now leverage this custom search and connect to their Azure knowledge to instantly have their agent leverage it when generating responses to applicable user queries. And to do this, they do not have to move their data, prompts, or models out of Azure AI services. Let's see just how easy it is. Here, you see that a professional developer has built an Azure search index using a ton of 10K, 10Q, and other company filings. Through Microsoft Copilot Studio, they can easily bring this custom search index or knowledge and ground an agent they are building in just a few clicks. To do this, open the agent built in Copilot Studio, which was built to answer questions on company financials. Then click on Add Knowledge and leverage the Azure AI Search. This connects Azure AI Search and automatically see a list of all the indexes created in Azure. Just select the index you'd like to use from the list and add it as knowledge to the agent. Now, when you test the agent by asking questions that are contained in the 10K filings, you'll see the relevant information returned. And of course, once you are ready, you can then publish this to any channel available in Copilot Studio.
As for models, Azure AI offers more than 1,600 models in their catalog and also provides support for custom models, including domain-specific models, small language models, and custom fine-tuned models. And now customers will be able to use any models they built or select in Azure AI and instantly use it inside Copilot Studio. Let's have a look.
Azure AI has over 1,600 models and allows you to create your own. Now, you can easily use these in Copilot Studio. Let's say I have a model optimized for the financial industry in Azure AI Studio, and I want to use this in Copilot Studio to answer a financial-related topic. Here in my topic, I can simply call the model. I pass the user query to the model, and I also pass in a financial data variable that I have already gathered from the user. I can also provide additional instructions to pass to the model if I want. Now let's test this topic. As you can see, the agent leverages the custom financial model I added and returns the appropriate industry-specific information. With this, customers can use a variety of custom models with Copilot Studio, including domain-specific models, small language models, custom fine-tuned models, and more.
The next thing is a new Copilot Studio SDK and developer experience. Copilot Studio now comes with corresponding SDK. You will be able to use it to extend the Copilots you built in the studio with a code-first extension or to access your Copilot Studio endpoints and agents programmatically. For example, you can use a Copilot to drive your applications and other customer experiences. Say you have a kiosk that you want to interact with manually, an application that you want to embed Copilot endpoint into, or perhaps you simply want to extend your Copilot with code-first extensions. You can do that all. Simply get started in the public GitHub. Now, another very exciting capability Microsoft launching is a native support for voice. You can now speak to the agent you built with Copilot Studio, not just chat with them. In fact, all of the great generative AI capabilities are also available for voice use cases. You will be able to have a single multimodal agent for both text and voice responses across languages. Copilot Studio also automatically enhances the speech recognition of users based on their bot's content. Finally, you can connect any agent you create in Copilot Studio to any dynamic omnichannel workstream to create your own 1-800-IVR. So now let's bring a few things together. For example, let's say you want to build a Gen AI-powered concierge experience embedded into a hotel app. All you have to do is create Copilot in Copilot Studio, expose your room service menus, your hotel brochure, point it to your website and your ordering APIs, just as you normally do with Copilot Studio. And you end up with the usual Copilot that can answer questions over that corpus. But now with the new SDK and voice capabilities, you can wrap that Copilot endpoint into an application. So when the user asks something like, say, what time is breakfast tomorrow, the Copilot endpoint returns the right answer and returns the reference to the page the answer was sourced from. But now the app can use that reference to automatically browse the relevant page. What's more, using the new voice channel, both the user's question and the response can be speech-enabled. Together, this enables immersive multimodal experience. So let's bring it all together and see this in action.
What time is breakfast tomorrow?
Breakfast is served from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the main dining area.
Can I get it delivered to my room?
Sure, here is the in-room dining menu.
Are blueberry pancakes gluten-free?
Unfortunately, no. Blueberry pancakes are not gluten-free as it contains all-purpose flour.
Oh, okay. In that case, please order bacon and eggs for me at 7:30 a.m.
All right. I have placed your order.
Oh, and one more thing. Can I get a wake-up call tomorrow morning at 6?
I've set the wake-up call for you at 6 a.m.
Thank you very much.